Intuitive Movement 101, Level 5. Now we've done our O's, which we were stationary spheres, and our 1s, our 2s, our 3s, we're no longer stationary, we're mobile spheres. And then we return to center, so we build that core strength, and we got adaptable to change, right? So all of these levels, we have been practicing consciously paying attention to what we're doing with our bodies. And because we've been consciously paying attention to our breath, to our arm movements, to our foot positions, to our posture, how our body feels as we're moving, so we ensure that however we're moving through space, as we're exploring space, feels comfortable for our bodies, and slowly developing more strength and agility and ability to adapt to change. And now we get to level 5, intuitive integration. What's beautiful about intuitive integration is we get to put it all together, and now we don't have to think about it. We can put on some music and move and enjoy ourselves. Why? Because on every level we've been consciously practicing, we've been paying attention to what we've been doing. So because we've been paying attention to what we've been doing, however many minutes a day that we do it, our body is laying in that foundation. It's laying in that memory track of motion. So then the rest of the time, it does it, and it doesn't have to think about it. It's just how we function and how we move. So when we practice level 5, we get to really embody and embrace our vessels and take control of them, because we can let them go. And now what's beautiful about this too is intuitive movement. Intuitive movement means we're not thinking about it. We don't have to think about it, because we can trust that our bodies are going to move through space in a way that is going to support our vessels as we're moving through space. We're moving within the boundaries of circular motion, so it's safe motion. We're following curvilinear lines. We're following rotary motion. This is supporting the biomechanics of our joints as we're moving. And in the process of simply moving and exploring the space around us in a way that feels good, exploratively, we're conditioning our bodies to be able to do whatever it is that we need to do in daily life, and do it in a way that supports our vessels so that we're less likely to experience injury. And as we age, it's going to support our bodies. It's going to support our bones, because like developing bones need the body weight to help grow strong bones. Also to help develop good, strong, cushy cartilage. Studies have shown that runners over many years have really awesome knees because of that continued impact. Only though if they trained within the safe boundaries of training. They pushed themselves, but not past the point of elasticity. They didn't push their bodies into injury. They didn't push their bodies into beyond that, just enough for the body to build strength to adapt to the conditions of added challenge that had been given to it over the years. So by practicing elementally intuitive movement, once we get to level 5, that's it. We are practicing. We're no longer in 101. We are fully in aim. And the aim is to move your vessel freely. Feel confident in your body. Feel confident that you can move, because part of what causes pain and tension in our bodies is fear. If we're afraid that we're going to hurt ourselves, then we're going to tense up when we do things. And if we tense up when we do things, we're more likely to experience injury. So if we have confidence in our motions, confidence in our body's ability to move, to do things, to move through space without having to think about it, to be able to adapt, to catch things because you've trained it to be aware of its environment. So when something is falling, maybe you can catch it before it lands on your foot, because you have the grace to lean forward and get it, because you've been practicing mobilization and ensuring that your body is mobile and can adapt and move. And stay breathing and paying attention to its breathing and not lose track of that. So that way we don't lose our carbon dioxide resistance. So that way our oxygen is processed well. When our oxygen is processed well, our cells receive more nourishment. Now, the more we increase our activity, aerobic exercise, the more our muscles are using oxygen. So the more likely we are to mouth breathe, like I am, but I'm also talking. So that adds to my eustress challenge, but I know to pay attention to my breath, and whenever I can, breathe through my nose. That's part of adapting to when I drop the ball, picking it back up again. So maybe start out without any music. So you are oriented to your environment, as we've been practicing orienting ourselves to our environment. And then you can add some music, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn on some music. I was gonna say I'm just gonna hit random. We'll see what plays. And I love that Texas had a random cold front. It is currently below 60. It's about 58 degrees in Texas. September 10th, 2020 in Texas. It is 57 degrees. And a friend of mine gave me this sweater that has long sleeves. Now, I love this sweater because when I'm practicing elementally intuitive movement, I now have literally implements created by the fabric. Fabric makes a really fun implement. Try playing with a towel or playing with a sheet or playing with a sarong or long floppy sleeves. All right, so I'm gonna put on some music here. I have an old phone that has a cracked screen, and I finally got this one, which is wonderful because it has wonderful sound. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I didn't get this phone until I was ready to share all of this with you. Kind of worked out that way, very, very randomly. So here's the random song that's playing. Fair warning, it has adult language, but this is effing movement we're doing here. Elementally functional family fitness movement. So it's effing all right. Because words, it's about how we use the words that gives them their power and what makes them negative or that makes them positive. We give them that value. So shift your perspective and you shift how you feel about that word or that language or whatever. All right, level 5, elementally intuitive movement. Your final level, the 6th level of Intuitive Movement 101. And next week we will do it all over again, but we're gonna focus on the next foundation. What is it? I don't know, it's gonna be a surprise. It's either gonna be feet or it's gonna be core. I still can't decide. They're both very important. So I think I'm gonna go with the feet. Actually, it's not a surprise. We're gonna go with the feet because now that we're paying attention to breath, we want to really follow these mechanics of our body because the force on our feet carries through to our knees, to our hips, to our core, on upwards. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna travel up from the feet, get here, and yeah. Alrighty, yay! Foundations. Thanks, y'all. I hope you're enjoying this. I am. I'm totally enjoying this. I'm learning so much. And that's what life is all about, y'all. Learning and growing and stumbling and falling and getting back up again. So we do.